Good morning, everybody. First of all, I just thanks to Dr. Salu to invite me and for this talk. This is orbital trauma, as I already mentioned in my thing, that Salu and Sir and Tribedi sir already covered most of the things, and so I will skip few my slide. But once orbit, I always consider if there is a septum is involved. Even a simple lead injury, whatever, once the septum is ruptured, so it's an orbital injury. In this presentation, the author has no financial interest. That is, those are the important things that one is the orbital injuries. It may be a life-saving measure, like it may be a cavernous sinus injury, or sometimes there may be other injuries, or there may be intracranial injuries. So first ABC always in any injury like a airway, a B for breathing and C for circulation, we should check all. There may be some other injury, there may be a spinal injury along with orbital injury, because most of the time there is a road traffic accident. Trauma may involve all other stages. Nature of the severity of the injury you should assess. A systemic ocular and orbital. In each and every cases, though is an orbital injury, you should look the ocular examination and then other systemic examination as well. Problem generally associated with orbital hemorrhage, this is a common DAR and emphysema along with the orbital fracture, traumatic optic neuropathy. We should look the things, the pupillary reflex. There may be a mid-dilated pupil, so it may be a total PL negative. Orbital fracture, so we should explain all before touching any whatever lead injury. There may be associated with there may be looks like a very simple. I will go with my slide, there is some injuries, like I will not go too much of that theoretical part. And location of the injury is very important, and type of the tissue. If it is due to the injury by some objects, the velocity of the object and distance from the source, and especially in case of a bullet injury, the type of the distance is very important, and what the type of foreign body is retained, because next of our investigation is depends on that. Either we can go for a CT scan or MRI. If it is a vegetable foreign body like a bamboo injury, etc., we may go for MRI, but in some cases, if it is a doubtful cases, MRI is contraindicated. Clinical presentation, all those are very, very important. Most metallic foreign bodies remain silent. So they may report after 3 months, 4 months also. Along with that, I will show you my presentation. In that, intraoperative care should be taken to ensure that the foreign body does not disappear deep in the orbit. In case of the orbit, it's difficult. So it's another of my cases is injury, bullet injury. So it's already PL negative. So in such cases, no need for any hurry. No need for any hurry. We can later on also we can reconstruct. There is one pellet is in the in the brain, silent for last 1 month. So nothing to panic, nothing to worry. But those are the some patients like there is a bamboo is there, and once you touch the bamboo, there is a CSF fluid leak out. So there is a clear fluid leaks. So that indicates there is an injury. This gentleman looks like a foreign body in the eye, but you see the whole of the frontal lobe is involved. So that's the reason the investigation is very crucial in some cases. The CT scan is the choice initially, or straight away in such cases we can go for MRI also. It is a bamboo, we can go for MRI also if your financial is. So the tissue edema is one of the point at timing of the treatment. So is there is tissue edema and the hemorrhage is a active bleeding, or there is a huge edema, the status of the optic nerve, infection, those are actually that some guiding points you can choose, you can judge. Restored vision is the most priority in our cases. If we can restore the vision, we can try to restore the vision, and then we can think for others. To restore the vision, those are the very, very important. And in case of a metallic foreign body, if it is the iron foreign body, it may land up with so many other complications. Then if the location is near to the optic nerve, better you can remove. But in rest of the part, you can wait and watch. Those are the in examination, always a physical examination, thorough ocular orbital examination, a radiological, plain X-ray may helpful in some cases, and ultrasound, if the globe is intact, you can do in ultrasound also, but CT is the choice, and in some cases, MRI is the next options. So I already mentioned in my that sometimes there is maybe a bullet injury. This patient, there is a hemorrhage inside the eye. It is almost half part of the sclera is involved. There is a gross edema due to gunpowder. So those are the patients for early intervention and palate along with the, it was removed that foreign body. So those are the indication for thing. And if it is extragonal, we should remove in such situation. But in some scenario, we can delay. So this is the post-op pictures. As I mentioned that there is me distance of the injury is important. It is in case of a bullet injury distance, it was almost fired from a zero distance by homemade gun, but it was a zero distance, so it's almost, he was very lucky, he was passed just near the, in between the scalp and the forehead and passes behind the ear, and in such cases there is active bleeding, so no, so we can go for the TB sedation and ball implant, and then we can restore the lead as much as possible. Sometimes we may ignore that it was reported to our institute 2 months after that injury, and there is some mild eyelid injury he is reporting, there is some redness is there, but once you look carefully, there is one entry wound. But he was very lucky, there is no such injury. Once I examined the fundus, there is one area where there is a rupture hemorrhage, and this is a double globe perforation by air gun injury, and air gun is still lodging just in the intracorneal space. Still he is maintaining 6/12 vision. So in this patient, we can wait and watch, because air gun, it is made not by exactly iron material, it's a copper, so copper is less injurious than iron. So in some cases there's a multiple foreign body and is after the blast injury, so we can wait and no need for any, we just assess the wound and we can observe our intracranial, intraorbital foreign bodies. But in some cases it is lots of edema, and that is a location also easy, and fission is there, and in such cases we can go, otherwise we can slowly remove. And my mentor Dr. Grover is already arrived. He will speak on the orbital flexure. I will not go too much of the orbital flexure. So that for that orbital flexure, it is the essential part is if there is a emphysema, if there is a epistaxis, without any distortion, or either a movement is some amount of restricted, so there is one indication for early orbital flexure if there is a bradycardia in case of child, so that is due to the involvement of that intracranial nerve tent. So that is the only indication for early, otherwise you can wait and watch in orbital flexure. Whatever the location is, depends on the size, shape, etc. Grover will speak all those things in very way. So that investigation is a list for things that is a lower lid restriction, diplopia, then intraorbital nerve hyperesthesia, epistaxis, all we can look. And basically the extraocular motility, those are the very important, and post-duction test to identify before the CT scan, we should identify the amount of the diplopia, etc. in the clinics. And CT scan is the most of the time the choice of the investigation, because his bone is involved. MRI is not an investigation of choice, and in such cases, so the main question is whether surgery is needed. So sometimes we can wait and observe, it's heal automatically if there is no entrapment of the muscle, only some amount of teardrop, few fats involved only, then also we can wait. But there is some situation where there is a large fracture, significant hypoophthalmos, progressive infraorbital hyperesthesia, and there is a more than 2 mm, there is things. Not in the fracture also sometimes may associated with some intracranial injury. There is a multiple injury, there may be a laceration in the cornea, there may be a lead injury, there may be a fracture frontal lobe, there is a foreign body. In such situation we need, this is actually in my career, this is the second in intracranial injury. So in initial first case, I was very young that time, just joined as a consultant. Then I removed one eye, then I realized, oh, there is a CSF leak. Then I have to manage in the OT, somehow open the wound and then other paths. So in this patient, in this I want to show that particular patient, gentleman, he was actually, I thought it may be intracranial injury, so referred to the neurosurgeon. On the time of, in the waiting hall itself, he pulled it out. Because this is because of the some alteration in the brain, so he pulled it out, and then we with the help of along with that neurosurgeon, we just clean the wound, and ultimately this is his picture. So that, as we know, that frontal lobe is not so much of importance than in other part of the bone, the midbrain. So better one is that we can control the thing. We should control the infection. This is the first, and maintain the ABC. If everything is normal, then if nothing, then those are some few patients with intracranial injury. Just I maintain those ABC, then the infection part, and that's always is better. Always you send immediately to the culture and sensitivity that things, photographic documentation, and send for culture and sensitivity. This is very, very essential. That you should know that what are the organism, fungus, bacteria, what type of fungus. Do I support all those cases in, and post-op CT scan is very essential. And if in that we can start the organism and with the steroid also. So those are documentation, and this is a recovery. This is another same type of patient. To summarize, I want to locate the location, mode of injury, and particularly the tissue. Use of the quantitative CT are extremely helpful for proper diagnosis. In some cases, we may go for MRI. But before the MRI, you should know that there should not be any metallic foreign body. A high index of suspicion is a key point to avoid any mismanagement. For those orbital injury, basically the road traffic accident also depends on the laws, basically traffic rules. If we can maintain the law and order situation and socio-economic development, is probably the best way to prevention in case of injury. Thank you.